Hello, welcome everybody. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Ox. I make content around music production, creative workflows, and just leveling up as an artist in general. Whether that's going to be sound design, plugins, or building better habits in the studio. This is actually my first long form video on the channel. So if you're early, I appreciate you being here. Now, before we get into this quick little moment of transparency, this video is sponsored by Party Bag Plugins. So yes, they did pay me to make this video. But I want to be clear, I had already spent some time with this plugin before any sponsorship conversation even happened, and I genuinely like what it does. While I am being paid to showcase it, everything I'm about to say reflects my real experience using it. So with that out of the way, today we're checking out a really interesting plugin called Pick and Mix. This is a sample-based instrument. It's built around kind of layered textures, vintage tape character, and this super unique pad workflow that basically turns chord exploration into something that's virtually impossible to mess up. I'm going to walk you through the interface, show you how the layering system works, demo some presets, we're going to build a loop from scratch, and then give you my honest thoughts. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Pick and Mix is basically a Rompler style instrument. It's got these 16 playable pads, and each pad contains 4 layered samples. And as you can see, this integrates really well with my Ableton Push. The cool thing is that these layers are designed to work together harmonically, so instead of trying to manually stack sounds, you can just kind of play around naturally and get interesting melodic movements instantly. The library includes guitars, vintage synths, piano textures, hollow body basses, and a bunch of tape processed sounds. And honestly, the whole vibe of this plugin feels very nostalgic. It's got this warm, slightly degraded, lo-fi texture that sounds like old tapes and dusty records and stuff that comes straight from analog gear, but it still feels clean enough to fit into modern production. If you're a producer that makes ambient, indie, lo-fi, or even experimental music, this plugin is definitely catered towards you. All right, let's break down the interface because it's actually pretty straightforward. So first, right here in the bottom right corner, you've got your 16 pads. Each one is going to trigger a different layered sound stack. And what is nice is that every pad feels musically connected. You can literally start clicking around randomly and still land on ideas that sound super intentional. Now over here, each layer can be individually controlled. So if I solo this layer, and then I mute this layer from the entire stack, you can hear how much flexibility you actually have. You're not locked into this one baked sound. You can reshape the texture completely depending on what kind of atmosphere you want. Then you've got EQ controls for sculpting each layer, and you activate that by hitting this button here. And this EQ works a lot like Pro Q, where you double click, creates a node, you can right click on that node, and you can select your filter type, and then you can also delete the band as well. This is honestly super useful because sometimes one texture has a little bit too much low-mid information, or another layer might feel too bright. So instead of opening external plugins immediately, you can shape things right inside the instrument. You've also got effects like reverb and delay. You've also got tape emulation and a little bit of chorusing. The tape section is honestly one of the strongest parts of this plugin. Turning this up adds saturation, movement, and that slightly unstable analog feel. So listen to this before and after. And then let me enable the tape. You can also enable glide and pitch bend and this repeater section over in this corner, which adds rhythmic texture really quickly. And if you want something to feel a little bit more plucky and percussive, there's actually a 1-button pluck mode. Super fun for making these arpeggiated ideas, and here's a little example of that. All right, enough talking, let's actually hear some sounds. I'm gonna flip through a few presets so you can get a feel for the overall vibe of this instrument. Okay, so this first one is super atmospheric. Listen to how wide and soft this feels. Okay, this one has a little bit more attack. You could definitely hear this in some lo-fi house or some indie pop. Another cool feature is this random preset button. This is honestly dangerous because you could start clicking through sounds and suddenly you've lost an hour. But for inspiration, really, really good. Wow. Really interesting texture. All right, let's actually build something with it. So I'm going to start off with this chord progression coming straight from Pick and Mix. Already sounds really emotional with basically no effort. Now I can go ahead and start layering all of our other instruments on top. These sounds are coming from its sibling plugin, which is called Real Synth. And because these sounds are already designed to complement each other, everything feels really cohesive really quickly. And that's probably one of the biggest strengths of this plugin. It's going to remove a lot of that friction that normally slows down creativity. So now we can add our chords. Now let's throw in some drums. After spending some time with Pick and Mix, here's what I honestly think. The biggest pro is inspiration. This plugin makes it ridiculously easy to just stumble into some musical ideas. The layered pad system is genuinely fun. The tape character sounds great. The interface is extremely simple. You're not spending forever trying to figure out routing or modulation. I also think this plugin works extremely well for producers who don't necessarily want to get ultra technical. You can just open it and start creating. Now, on the downside, if you're someone who wants super deep sound design capabilities or super complex synth modulation, this probably isn't going to replace something like an Omnisphere, a Serum, or a Vital. This feels more focused on vibe and immediacy, that kind of instant gratification, rather than endless tweaking. Also, because the sound has such a strong aesthetic identity, it leans heavily towards the nostalgic, ambient, lo-fi, and cinematic styles, which is definitely not a bad thing, but it's definitely worth knowing before you buy. Personally though, I think Party Bag Plugins nailed the atmosphere on this one. So yes, that's Pick and Mix by Party Bag Plugins. Again, shout out to them for sponsoring this video, but like I said at the beginning, this is genuinely a plugin I enjoyed using even before that conversation ever happened. If you make lo-fi, indie, ambient, chill hop, or anything texture heavy, I think this is definitely worth checking out. I'll leave my affiliate link down below if you want to try it for yourself. And if you've enjoyed this walkthrough, please make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and let me know what plugin you want me to check out next. I appreciate you for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.